am Truthslayer.
Back again. Now that we've had our fun with the TNA twins. By the way, anyone that has a complaint with what we have to say, I'm the complaint department. Come and find me. We'll have a nice discussion. Now, I think it only fair, since we have this opportunity here and we're in the state of mind and we have a classic match, you know, of Joe Punk 2 from ROH for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship,
Yes.
I might add.
Yes.
The hour-long classic.
I think we have about 15 minutes left.
I thought we'd give like a state of the union of professional wrestling, if you will, taking a look at
Where
the
we've
state
been,
of things.
and where
we're
we've
going.
been, and where
Well, I think we
we're
kind of covered where we've been in the early video when we were burying Bill and Doug. You know, in between burying Bill and Doug and the TNA Lemmings, I think we kind of discussed where it's gone, where we've been. Now I think we need to discuss where we are and where we're going. What is the prudent plan of action? And of course, you have to start with the one at the top, or I tell you what, we'll start at the bottom and work our way up to the top.
Okay.
So let's start with, let's actually start in Japan.
Okay.
There's been some big changes in Japan. If
Slightly. And even for all the little Japanese marks that don't want to believe me, I don't care.
Yeah, but saying slightly is kind of like saying, hey, you know, the Pope, he's kind of a religious guy.
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, the bottom has fallen out, I guess.
Yes, the bottom has fallen out. Basically, what has happened is you have MMA. MMA is to say huge in Japan. Basically, UFC's biggest competitor was in Japan. Their two biggest competitors were in Japan. One of them has now gone bankrupt, but both of those pretty much helped destroy most of what we think of Japanese wrestling. So now it's pretty much crap, and I shouldn't say crap, but it's about as good as TNA is at the moment, which is crap.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is crap. So
Now, so that's kind of where Japanese is. It's in financial straits. The bottom has fallen out on it.
Yes.
And it's barely a blip on the radar screen.
Yes.
Now, going to the barely blips on the radar screen, I guess would be the, I don't want to say the independents, because there's just too many of those and they're so small. Yes. And they are really usually developmentals for
I would say
I would have to go with just NWA.
Yes, NWA is a good starting point.
You've got the NWA title, which everyone knows your feelings on that.
Yes, my feelings.
For those of you who don't know, I've said it a couple times in my videos. I pretty much agree with him. From the beginning when I looked at the thing, and my problem was with a big problem that you had with it was the length that they took to do this tournament. It's funny that an NWA tournament, you know, and for the longest time when you and I were growing up, the NWA was associated with Jim Crockett. And if anyone that knows Jim Crockett, and if you don't, you need to find out about Jim Crockett. One of the best things that Jim Crockett ever did was the Jim Crockett tournament.
Yep.
And I don't understand why NWA, which is kind of portraying itself as a more pure type wrestling now, as opposed to, you know, like maybe ROH TNA, but as a more pure wrestling alternative to WWE. I think if you're going to do that, then why can't you have the tournament over maybe a 2-day or even a night? I mean, I couldn't get that.
I couldn't get it either. I still don't get it.
You know, because the old school tournaments were in a day.
Yes.
I mean, you know.
And people like tournaments.
Wasn't the King of the Ring? I mean,
Yes.
wasn't a good portion of that tournament that pay-per-view?
Yes.
So I couldn't understand. I mean, I can understand maybe you wanting to spread out the preliminaries, but I couldn't understand the quarterfinals, semifinals, or even just the semifinal and the finals. Why can't that be one night? And I just couldn't get it. And well, NWA, you dropped the ball.
Amen.
Like a bad Detroit running back, you dropped the ball.
And instead of the good Detroit running back.
Well, he retired a long time ago.
Before he could rewrite their history books, but that's another sport at another time.
Yeah. So now that takes us to ROH. Funny thing is, of course, you're the ROH mark.
Yes, I am huge ROH mark.
Now, I'm a big fan of ROH. And everyone knows I'm a big fan of ROH, but I don't consider myself an ROH mark. Because I want to see TNA do well.
Yeah,
I want to see
I
W.
do too.
But I'm pro wrestling mark. You're more of a pro wrestling mark. It's just you and I being pro wrestling marks realize that right now the best pro wrestling is ROH.
Right.
And the day that a wrestling fan wins a massive amount of lottery money, because I'll tell you right now, if I had the money, I would be finding a way to put ROH on the air, because I honestly think that if somebody's smart enough to put them on the air, and I've said this time and time again, and not change the basic formula of what they do in the ring. We've both said they can shave time off some of the other matches, and still keep the main events at a good time period. And to me, I tell you something. To me, ROH reminds me there's a reason to give a budding wrestling program 2 hours.
Oh yeah, exactly.
There's a reason because then you end up with matches. Because then you don't even really have to shave that much off off the other matches, and you're almost guaranteed a full 20, 30-minute main event. And what the fuck would be wrong with that? You think you're going to get that on TNA? No. What are main events in TNA now? Just like WWE.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
10 minutes, 10, 15 maybe.
Yeah, on TV. If you're like, and I know people come on here and say, well, you had the Rhino, I think it was Rhino Angle and Christian match.
Yeah.
Is that it? The Kate, whatever it was match. I understand that. The problem that I have, and I know a lot of people completely disagree, particularly on a lot of the news sites, is that TNA should not give away stuff for free. I disagree because I think they need to use the TV show to help say, oh wow, if they're putting this on television, what are they putting on the pay-per-views, particularly since they rely so heavily on the pay-per-view money. That's just
and their buys are at what?
25, 50,000, which is crap. I mean, folks.
But now back to ROH. Back to ROH. We're written.
Okay.
Now for all you TNA marks, trust me, I know at least one of us will jump this hard on the WWE. It's just I'm saving my energy and pacing myself. Now, back to ROH. The moment someone realizes, I mean, like I said, but what I was saying was there's a reason to give someone who's been in the business for only say 5 years 2 hours, because even Bill and Doug have admitted in their videos that ROH delivers in the ring. And as I've said, because of the fact that whenever they get a TV deal, all they use to promote their storylines is their website and their DVDs, right? Mm-hmm. Because now you're going to get on TV, they have this wonderful opportunity to start off and just basically go from scratch with storylines and make them simplistic and simple and clean. Yeah. And if you know a disciple of Paul Heyman is going to just make them easy to follow. Unlike, like a TNA storyline where we have to have like Bill and Doug explain it to us.
Yes.
Thanks for explaining the Rhino storyline. I didn't get it. But
I didn't get it. It wasn't that we didn't get it, it was that we got it and it was still stupid.
So that takes us to TNA. Now, let's see, where do we begin with TNA? Well, they're WWE light now.
I wouldn't even say that. You know what I would
admits-
say? I'm getting to the point, and I'm going to go even farther than that. They are becoming XPW with talent.
Okay. I'd go there. I was going to say WCW minus the talent.
That works too.
But like I've said, they do nothing but push the people from other alliances other than their homegrown talent, which you can't sit here and tell me doesn't affect the locker room morale.
It does.
Especially when you're having to fucking let people go solely based on the fact that you can pay Pac-Man Jones $25,000 an appearance,
which is less
for a guy who doesn't even wrestle.
Yes,
who cannot be touched.
Which is less than what the WWE did for K-Fed. And the K-Fed thing worked. As much as people hated it, after it happened, people were like, oh, that wasn't so bad.
Finally glad to see K-Fed get his ass kicked. I think, who cares if it's Cena? K-Fed's getting his ass kicked. We got 1 minute, so that's actually enough time to rip apart TNA a little bit more. Okay, let's see. You put on pay-per-views that should just basically be Impact episodes and charge your fans $40. Exactly. Then you wonder why your buy rates are abysmal. You get all this great talent from the WWE, which y'all push, and then your ratings still stay where they are. I mean, never mind if the boycott doesn't affect the ratings. How about this? The ratings aren't going anywhere anyways. You've gotten Kurt Angle, you've got Christian Cage, and these are the guys that are supposed to give us the attention, put us on the map.
You left that Sting.
But yet, after you brought on all this big, high-priced talent, your ratings have gone nowhere. They haven't gone up. They haven't gone down either. No, but they haven't gone up. Be back with our rant on WWE. Peace out.
Later.